Hello to everyone.
Hi, Scotty.
Hi, Scott.
Hi. We're going to be getting started in just a second. All right, Joan, you're at the top of the list. What have you got for me this evening?
Nothing. I'm just listening for
All
a
right.
little while.
All right, well, it's a little early, so we might have some others. Joanne, how are you? What can I do for you tonight?
Well, where do I begin? As usual, I was confusing. So, to set up, if I set up albums on my phone,
Yeah.
they do not get set up on the iPad, even though they're both iOS devices.
That's correct, as far as I know. That's right. Yeah, iPhoto is not... The contents of iPhoto syncs, but not the organization of iPhoto.
Okay, so the pictures I take on the iPhone do not automatically go to iPhoto. Some do, some don't.
That's not completely true.
They go into PhotoStream.
That's right, which then lands in iPhoto on your computer eventually, once you get to a
Right,
Wi-Fi
it's up
network.
to me to save them on the iPad if I want to keep them. Either save them from the photo stream on the iPad or hook it up to my computer and somehow pick and choose what I want on the iPad.
That's right. So if you take a picture of a tree today, it's on your iPhone. It goes up into iCloud. It lands into iPhoto on all the computers that you have PhotoStream turned on. It also lands on your iPad. It saves permanently into iPhoto on your computers, but it's there temporarily on your iPad. If you want to keep that picture of the tree, and I say temporarily, let's say 30 days or so. If I want to keep that picture permanently on my iPad, even though I didn't take it on the iPad, I can do one of two things. I can either save it from PhotoStream on the iPad into the camera roll of the iPad, or I could connect my iPad up to iPhoto, or iTunes that is, and sync the picture permanently onto the device.
Without having, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, that's hard to say all that, but that's the
If
answer.
they're both iOS devices, though, how come they don't sync together?
Because the technology has not come that far yet. NASA can get to the moon, but we can't get to Mars. It's going to take some more time. Jay, what have you got this evening? I'm going to kind of go down my list in the order here. Jay, what have you got?
Hi, folks. Scotty, I'm on this new desktop that I've got. It is System 9.2, 10.9.2,
Okay.
and it lives at home. Good evening, everybody. And so what I'd like it to do is set passwords, and it's not doing that. It did for a while, and then I've obviously changed the preference, and it's not doing it.
All right, there are a lot of different ways to sync passwords, to sync keychains. Apple offers a solution, and then there are, I'm getting ready to sneeze. And then there are some other, thank you, there are some other password management systems. One Password, LastPass, those are the most popular ones. But let's take a look at the keychain syncing built into iCloud. If you open up your system preferences, and I don't expect anybody to follow or to do this as I do it, I give the answer and then I record it and post it up. So if you opened your system preferences and you went to iCloud in your own system preferences, you would see that there is a pane there or a checkbox next to keychain. So I'm waiting for my iCloud preferences to load up here. It's going to take a second. And when it does, come on iCloud, you'll have the ability, there we go. See the keychain that's checked there? Now I need to cross-reference that with my iPad, iPhone, and other computers. So here under Settings on my phone, if I go into iCloud, the same area, now you see I've got keychains on over here and I've got keychains on over here, which means that if I have a website that I need to save the password for, it will be saved across all my devices, and that is iCloud being in control of that.
Okay.
And so you want to make sure that those are checked. Now, when you do check this, Jay, let's say you get a new phone tomorrow or you get a new computer tomorrow and you sign into your iCloud account on one of those devices, it's going to ask you, well, hey, wait a minute. We want to make sure that you are who you are, so it makes you prove that you are who you are by sending a message to your other devices saying, there's a new iPhone on the list of iCloud devices under Jay's world. And that's a security feature, and that's a good thing to have. Does that maybe clear things up for you?
And it also points out that I really don't completely understand iCloud yet, which is not surprising. So I'm on my phone, so I need to basically make sure that I go to iCloud on my phone, the main phone that I use, and I'm looking at settings, and I go to keychain, I guess. Is that correct?
Yeah, and you make sure that's checked. That's all you really should be doing is just make sure that it's checked.
Okay, it says iCloud keychain and it's not turned on.
That's part of the problem then. And when you do,
so I go iCloud keychain, I just clicked it, sign into iCloud, and so I use my main keychain, my main password for everything.
yes,
Right?
that's fine.
Okay. All right, and because I really don't, my big laptop, my big desktop here doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I clicked on iCloud on it, so keychain. I click on the phone here, keychain. Hi, Daryl. And hadn't seen you in a while. Hi, Joan. And so I put that same one in everything.
Yes.
Okay. I'll give that a shot, and if that doesn't work, I'll come back and ask.
All right. Let's jump down to Mark. Mark, what can I help you with this evening?
Thank you.
No problem. Mark, can you hear me this evening? What have you got? Mark, I'm going to jump over you for a second. If you hear me and maybe you're away, pop back in a second. Can you get to? Well, actually, Joan, can you see everybody now?
No, I can't even see you, Scotty.
Daryl, are you having any problems seeing me tonight?
No, I got everybody now.
All right. Well, Joan, you might want to exit the meeting and come back to the meeting. Sounds like maybe something going on your side. Maybe quit, go to meeting, and rejoin.
I can see Joan.
Yes.
I can see Joan.
All right. Yeah.
Well, I can't see anyone.
The camera might be hidden somewhere, Joan. You might check your dock and see if it's minimized. Maybe that camera is minimized or GoToMeeting is minimized. Can you see my desktop, Joan?
No, I'm just seeing my own desktop.
Okay. You probably got it minimized in the dock. While you're working on that, I'm going to jump up to Daryl and see if Daryl has a question. Daryl, what have you got this evening?
Scotty, as you know, I have 3 redundant backups.
Right on.
I use Carbonite, I use Time Machine, and I use Carbon Copy Cloner.
Yeah.
Every morning, every night at 1 o'clock, the Carbon Copy Cloner does its thing.
Okay.
And then every morning, when I come and sit down, it says that it's been unplugged. What's the message without turning it off or something like that?
Yeah. Disk was ejected improperly, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's happened now 3 mornings in a row, and I don't think we've had power failures 3 nights in a row.
All right, so what's happening is every morning you come back and the disk has been ejected improperly. Let's just talk about that message for a second. Everybody sees that message.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, everybody gets that message at some point in time. You kind of beat me to what I was going to say there. And that is, what Apple doesn't want to happen is they don't want you to pull a device out when it's in the process of syncing or when it's in the process of being written. So let's say you have a flash drive and you move over a movie to that flash drive. If you pull the flash drive out while the movie's moving over, the movie's not going to play when you go to look at it on the flash drive. However, once that movie's been moved over, if you pull the flash drive out, or in this case, a hard drive that you're ejecting or that gets ejected accidentally, you're not going to lose anything on the drive itself. You're not going to lose any data. It's just that Apple wants to get you in the habit of making sure that you eject it yourself. With all that being said, it sounds like what's happening, Daryl, is maybe during the night your computer is maybe set to shut down. Maybe it's set to shut. I'm just guessing. Maybe it's set to shut down along the same time that the disk is trying to write. So you know how you set it to 12 a.m. to shut down or to go to sleep, the disk getting finished? Daryl, shaking your head. Give me some feedback.
No, I don't have it to shut down. What I think's happening is Joan is sneaking over here and messing with my computer at 2 or 3 in the morning.
That could be
I
possible.
can't even see any of you, no matter what I've tried.
I think that's what's happening. But anyway, no, it's not. I don't have it set like that. As a matter of fact, I have it set against that because I don't want it to shut down at night. Because when I'm away, I need to get into it, and sometimes when I go into it, it was shut down before. So I've changed all those settings and fixed that so I can get into it from away from the office. And it's just started happening, and I'm just going to watch it and see what it is. But anything come to mind that might?
Yeah, go in and tweak those settings. In other words, go in and make slight changes to those settings. As you know, Daryl, when you make a change to a setting, it rewrites the plist file. So just go and turn something to an hour and then back over to 3 hours, so it rewrites that plist file. You might also and make sure you're of course you're turning your desktop, your screen off, but not the computer's hard drive. Set it to make sure that you uncheck to not spin the drive down whenever possible, and I believe that's an energy saver. There, see where mine says put hard drives to sleep whenever possible. Uncheck that.
Okay.
So see if that will do it. That's the only thing I got. I see that from time to time. As a matter of fact, the last couple of days I've been trying to do a data transfer for somebody, and I would leave it going overnight from one drive to the next. And every morning I get back to the computer, and the disk had ejected in the middle of the night. So it could be cumbersome.
It's weird, and it just started happening. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I think it's Joan, but that's okay.
Yeah. All right.
I can deal with
For
that.
everything, Daryl.
I can deal with that.
Let's move up to Mark. Mark, what have you got this evening?
Can't hear Mark.
Mark, you're not muted, but we're having trouble hearing you. Mark, we can't hear you. So let's see.
Raise your hand if you can hear us. Oh,
Yeah, all right. Mark
okay.
can't hear you for some reason. I'm going to mute you, Mark, and I'm going to mute you and try to get you back. So let's see if maybe, because I saw you were muted a second ago. And it looks like you're muted on your end, Mark. Unmute yourself over in the GoToMeeting. Okay, try it again. Mark, you got us now? No, I got no Mark. Can't hear you. If you're having trouble, Mark, why don't you quit the GoToMeeting and then come back in again? See if that'll help. Meanwhile,
Scotty, I did have trouble. I used the star to log on, and it wouldn't log on.
the star.
And I used the link on top of the star on your website.
Okay, all right, I'll check that. Yeah.
It did log on.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that. Every year I have to renew some GoToMeeting settings. I get it for free instead of paying $40 a month for it. So Apple gives it to me for free, but I have to go in and change those settings. So that one link could work and the other one couldn't. All right, well, we've hit everybody. Mark, hopefully if you quit and restart, we'll be able to get to you. I apologize for the issue. Jay, did you have another issue you wanted to hit?
Yeah, returning to my keychain iCloud situation, I've gotten it to the point where it says approve with security code.
Okay, yeah. Mark, I understand. Got it. We can see that. So, Jay, what they did with that whole security code issue is that they used to sync keychains in MobileMe. And when they were syncing keychains in MobileMe, all your passwords were flying all over the place. Well, they stopped MobileMe, as everybody knows, and that's now a terrible word that we're not allowed to say. And they took away keychain syncing. And then when they brought it back with lawyers all over it. So that if Apple is going to be in control of your passwords, you have to jump through fiery hoops to agree that it's okay to give them their passwords, so that if you ever sued them in court, they can say, well, you said yes to this, and you said yes to this, and you provided us a 4-digit number, and you agreed from another device, that kind of thing. So that's what you're seeing right now.
All right. What do I need to do with this? Anything?
What is it asking you to do?
It says approve with. I'm sorry, you can't say that. Approve with security code.
So you have a 4-digit code that you either need to create or you have created.
Okay.
And it's probably a 4-digit number that's real common in your life that if you've created it in the past, try putting that 4-digit number in. If it's not where you have to enter it and it wants you to create it, then create a 4-digit code. I've got somebody else. Let me send
Okay.
a text.
It's sending me all kinds of things. Okay. All right. I'll work with this. Thank you. I'll
Right.
see what happens.
All right. Well, we've hit.
Scotty, what's your favorite password app?
I don't really use 1Password or LastPass. I just use the keychain syncing in iCloud. It's fine for me. I have a lot of clients that use both of the others. They feel like they need to have a better handle on all their passwords and what a program like that does. And they cost money. They're not cheap. They're like $40. But what they do is they will use Dropbox to sync your passwords across your devices. So they'll save their files into Dropbox. So you go to another program or you go to another computer and those passwords are there. But what happens with something like 1Password or LastPass is you supply one master password. Let's say it's pumpkin. And then within, after you put in the word pumpkin, you get access to all of the passwords that one of those devices creates, or one of those programs creates. Now, the danger, and I deal with this all the time, the danger in letting one of those programs create your own password, it's wonderful that it creates a super strong password, capital J, lowercase m, 3, 7, exclamation point, question mark, ampersand, that, all those types of passwords. That's great. The problem is people never know those. And sometimes people forget their master password to get into 1Password or LastPass. If they forget that master password, they are screwed. And they can't get to any of those. And so proceed with caution. Generally, keychain is all that I use, all I need. All right?
Is the LastPass app a lot easier to manipulate than keychain?
No, because actually, I think it's a little bit harder because keychain stays out of your way. Keychain says, hey, what's your, give us a 4-digit code. All right, you've proven who you are. Now, we will just do everything in the background. So it's pretty transparent. You don't have to do any kind of settings. You can't even go in and see anything inside keychain access. Whereas 1Password and LastPass, it's sort of like iTunes for passwords. There's all these different things you can do, and you can put notes in. So generally, I find it a little bit more confusing, but it's whatever you want to do. Let's go to
Does the Apple password thing sync among computers?
Say that again. Does what sync?
If I put a password in a program on my desktop, will that sync to my iPad or my iPhone?
When you use the word program, no. When you use the word web page, yes. So yes, in other words, keychain is not necessarily going to save, and I say not necessarily, it's not necessarily going to save the password into your Wells Fargo app, let's say, for instance. Every app that is created by an app designer or an app writer, an app developer, they have what's called an API, a set of instructions that Apple gives them that says, if you want to take advantage of this, write this code. If you want to take advantage of this, if you want to use the GPS chip, use this code. If you want to use keychain to sync passwords, use this code. So not every app developer takes advantage of every feature built into the Apple API. That's a little geeky, but to answer your question, some apps do, some apps don't. And that's depending on whether the app writer...
Websites do.
Yeah, because that's an app. That's Safari. And Safari is controlled by Apple. All right, I'm going to go to JB that looks like just joined in. JB, can I help you this evening?
Scotty, this is Ann. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey.
Hey.
Go ahead, you got a question?
Yes. I'm still having trouble with, and I brought this up to you a while ago, Ann Resch at me.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and the reason it came up, I was trying to send something to my sister to an old email. Somehow it was getting connected, and then it was sending it as a delivery failure back to me, but it was coming back to me with that as my email. So
Okay.
I don't know how to delete her old email out, or mine out.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You use a Gmail. I know Ann really well, and I know that Ann uses a Gmail email address to communicate with the world. Now, Ann also, like many people, she also has an @me.com email address. But what's happening is Ann is expecting to use gmail.com, like ann@gmail.com, as her normal email address, but ann@me.com keeps popping up and getting in the way. Is that a decent summation, Ann, of what's going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. I'm going to generally talk about it, and then if you want, we'll jump over and look at your screen and see if we can solve it. All right? So,
Okay.
first of all, I'm assuming that Ann does not want to use ann@me.com or @mac.com to send out email at all. She does not want email in @me.com or @mac.com, but it's getting in the way. So what she's going to have to do, and we'll do this together in a second, is go into System Preferences. She needs to look at iCloud because she's probably signed in using @mac or @me.com with Ann, and I'm just skipping the last name, ann@me.com. To sign into iCloud settings. That's fine, but she needs. Well, if we look at iCloud settings, and for some reason mine are disappearing right now, she can use that to sync her contacts, her calendars, her documents that Pages use, but she does not need to sync her mail with that. So we're going to uncheck that mail there. The other thing that we need to look at is in internet accounts in her system preferences. We're going to open up her internet accounts. We're going to go in and see if we can just turn off or disable @mac.com email. Then we're going to go into her mail settings and we're going to make sure that she's not even checking that @mac or @me.com email. All right. So Ann, here we go. I'm going to send a message to make you the presenter and also request control. So click yes and yes when you see those, and we're going to see your screen. So Ann, you should see a message now to make yourself the presenter and say yes. And then give me control of that so I can kind of walk through that and do this at the same time here. Did you click to give me control? Yeah, okay, I got control. All right, so let's go to her system preferences. And let's see, so I'm going under the black apple. Can you select system preferences if you see that, Ann? I don't see it. Do you see it? Yeah, select system preferences. Sometimes GoToMeeting is a little wacky when it comes to pull down menus. And your system preferences should open up. There we go. And I'm going to go look at iCloud. All right, I'm going to take back control now, and so let me have back control. And I'm going to click. I'm going to click on iCloud, and I want to make sure that the checkbox next to Mail is unchecked. Good. All right. First, that's good. That's what we want. We want that unchecked. So I'm going to close that. I want to go to Internet Accounts back in System Preferences, and I see you have just the icon in the dock, so we'll just use that. Let's go to Mail Contacts and Calendars. I think you're on an older version of the operating system. Good. And I'm going to look at iCloud and make sure that that's turned off. Yes, good. And we're going to look at me.com and make sure that mail's not there. That's fine. All right, now we're going to come up here to your mail, and we're going to go to Preferences in Mail in the actual stamp program. And we're going to make sure that Gmail is the only thing. Good. That's what we want. Gmail. Now, you see this grayed out right here? I want to select that, and I want to get rid of it. All right? See how that's in there? I don't even want this. Not only do I want it disabled, I just don't even want it here, so I'm going to take that out of there. Now, it might say, you got to do this and that, but I think we're good. All right. Now, lastly, I'm going to do one more thing here. We're going to go into your previous recipients, and we're going to remove any instance of you having been ann@me.com. So,
okay, Scotty, even though it still shows Ann Barash@me.com on this, alas, or whatever that says.
Yeah, that's gonna take effect in a second. That change will take effect. It looks like it's. Is it saying? Did it pull a menu down and say save? It probably did. Let's go up to menu and go to previous recipients. This, by the way, is one of the top questions that I get asked. I answered it again today in a session. People say to me all the time, "How do I get rid of a person's email?" I keep typing in Scotty, and his old email address shows up, and I've taken it out of my address book. How do I get rid of it from showing up? Well, you go to Mail, Window, previous recipients, and you select previous recipients, this little secret window pops up, and this shows you a history of everyone that you've communicated with. And in Nan's case, she has Heather that she's communicated with. She's communicated with Ricky, but maybe this is Ricky's old email address. So she needs to select that and then remove it from this list, and it would never show up again. But for now,
And Scotty,
yes.
Scotty, can I interrupt a second?
Yeah.
So this is what's happened with my sister Hunter. So it was going to that old email, freedom.com, and I didn't even choose that. It just, she
Yeah.
has 2 emails. And so I finally figured out that was why I was
Yeah.
getting the default. So I called her and she said, Ann, that is no longer an email. Well, I went into her contacts, and like you said, I deleted it there, but then it showed up again.
That's right, because just because you delete it in your contacts doesn't mean it's gone. And look at this
Right.
here. This is that history. You are in your contacts and you're in the previous recipients as this person that you don't want to be. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to remove it from the list. Then we're going to do one more thing and I'm going to get to the next person here. So now that I've removed that from that list, I'm also going to go to your contacts, open up contacts, and we're going to delete or edit your contacts so that your Gmail address is in your contacts list. That's what we want there.
Can we delete her old email in that, what you just did?
But one thing
Okay.
at a time. One thing at a time. I'm going to go to
Okay.
Baresh at me, at mac at me.com. Good. Looks like you're gone out of there. Let me see.
Okay.
Let's check here, and you've got another person. And let's make sure that neither of those. All right. So let me go check one more time on your previous recipients here. So I want to make sure that I went a little bit fast on that. Window, previous recipients, and good, you're out of that list, and that's what we want. All right, now the first name of the person who had the wrong email, Ann, was a friend of yours. Who was that?
Hunter.
Okay. And you also have family members, so we're going to see several of that. Okay. Are either of these wrong?
Yes, the freedom.
All right, so we're going to
That one.
select that. And you see that card, that means it was in your address book as well. So we're going to remove it from this list. And then we also need to go over and look at the contacts one more time. And and we're going to search for Hunter. And I know you know a lot of hunters. There, let's select that person. Okay, that looks good. Let's just glance through here. Good. And good. All right, I don't think you'll have that problem again. And as a matter of fact, let's prove it to ourselves. Let's go to new message. So you're going to write a new email, and you're going to type, or I'll type in, Hunter was her first name. And when you type it in, only Gaston Gazette's going to show up. All right?
Okay.
And the wrong one shouldn't be there anymore.
Now, see that other one, Hunter Bretzius at Gmail, that maybe that's just a different, I don't know what that is.
You might have corresponded with her from that email address in the past.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
that's going to take care of that. Let's see if I've got
Awesome.
anybody new that's come in. Anybody want to jump in and ask a question? I'm ready to move to the next issue. Somebody just jump in.
Thank you.
All right.
That was good right there. That was very helpful. I'm still not getting the password problem solved. I can set up something with you separately. I don't want to monopolize our town hall.
Well, give me an idea. What is the problem that's happening?
Why don't you take my screen?
Okay. All right. We're going to jump over to Jay, and
Okay.
you'll be made the presenter, and I want to see or control your screen.
Yeah, there you go.
There, click on there.
There you go.
You know what's interesting? While we're waiting on his screen, I'm going to send notices out for town hall every week. I just decided to do that, and it never fails. When I send a notice out, I get about 3 or 4 people that email me and complain to stop sending them email. So
Too bad. Hit delete.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Jay, what are we looking at here?
All right, I tried to follow your instructions. I went into system preferences. First, listening to what you said, I'm having iCloud take over my email.
Stop.
Which I don't want
Right.
because people don't know me as iCloud.
Right.
For those who don't know me, I sell. And so folks don't know me as iCloud. They know my specific
Right.
email, and they'll throw me to junk. Okay, so I've gone in, I've done that.
Yeah.
That I believe you were talking
Right.
about.
You don't
correct?
you don't want that checked. In your
Okay.
case, you don't.
Now I've gone into keychain.
You've turned
All
on
right.
keychain syncing. Yes.
Okay. Now, that was to correct my password problem on my desktop, and that was to give me all my passwords picked up. So I immediately went into my PayPal account where it should have my password. Didn't have it.
All right, I'm going to pause you there.
Okay.
When it comes to money, Wells Fargo, PayPal, Bank of America, Fifth Third, some websites like that will write code that say, do not save that password. And the reason they don't need that password saved is if I borrow your computer and I will say I need to change the hard drive out or whatever, to get to your password in something like PayPal, you need to put that password in yourself. So it's not going to remember monetary passwords.
Okay.
And it should
Previously, it has done it.
Yeah,
It has remembered that password. I know it, but it has remembered that password. Same's true for one of my selling sites, eBay, or another one called Reverb. Same thing. So maybe Facebook would be one to try this on?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't use Facebook a lot. Let me see if I can find it.
Or eBay. eBay might work. I know you do a lot with eBay, so it might save your.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Let me see if I can sign out. I don't even know where to sign out on the darn thing. My eBay. Let's see here. Maybe it's over here. No, I don't know.
Yeah, there it is.
Let's not waste any more
Okay.
of everybody else's time. We'll come back to that then, because I don't know where to sign out.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed to say that.
Scotty, how do I empty trash on the iPad?
There's no such thing. So you don't empty your trash on the iPad.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, how do I go from archive to trash?
Oh no, you're talking about email. You're talking about deleting email. Is that what you're saying?
Well, and photos. Can I delete photos on the iPad?
Yes, you can delete pictures on the iPad. Let's focus for a second on this question about email, real quick. If you're looking at my screen, you see my or deleting. The difference between archiving and deleting permanently. Here on my phone, what you're talking about when you archive something, Joanne, is Gmail. A lot of people say, Scotty, why does it say archive instead of delete? If you go into your settings, and this might not be the question that you're asking, but it's good enough to let everybody else know about. And you go into Mail Contacts and Calendars, and then you select your Gmail account. You have the ability under the Gmail account at the top. Then you go into Advanced. Then you have this area here. Do you want to move things to a deleted, or do you want to go to archive? Now, if you go to archive, what that does is it doesn't actually throw it away. It just moves it into a saved folder that you could then recover things from in the future. Generally, I say, look, if you're going to throw an email away, you want to throw it away. So I select to delete the deleted mailbox. So that will then change when you're in your Gmail account. And let me go to my Gmail account real quick. And I want to delete an email. It will say trash. It will not say archive. All right, now that's when it comes to email. However, when you're coming to pictures, like let's say you take a picture of a photo that you want to get rid of. Let me see. I took a picture here, and I want to delete that picture. Well, shoot, this goes full screen. But if I want to delete one of those pictures, there is no trash. It just immediately goes away. Okay?
Okay. So there's no way to empty the repository of deleted pictures?
No, not on an iPad. Not on an iOS device. Not that I know of. All right?
Okay.
Who's got it?
And then how do I take a screenshot on the laptop?
Screenshot on the laptop is Command-Shift-4. So if I hold down Command, Shift, and 4, my mouse becomes a little target, like a scope of a rifle. And then if I click and drag around that area and I let go, you might not be able to hear it, but it makes a camera click. Did you hear that?
Okay.
And then that drops it right onto the desktop. Now I have a picture of a part of my screen from about 2 minutes ago. So if I open that up, there's my screenshot. It'll show up here in a second.
Well, then what is Command-Shift F3?
Command-Shift-3, okay, so there's the screenshot that I took. Command-Shift-3, not really F3, but Command-Shift-3 gives me the ability to take a picture of the entire screen. But oftentimes, you're not trying, I have found, you don't want to take a picture of the whole screen. You want to take a picture of a part of the screen. So when you want to take a picture of part of the screen, Command-Shift-4. If you want to take a picture of the entire screen, Command-Shift-3. And
I want to take something to send it, usually, not to make a desktop.
okay,
Like to forward.
you want to take a picture of part of your screen or the entire screen?
Like the entire screen if I want to forward it. I guess I should just do that through the arrow at the top. Never mind.
Well, once you have a screenshot on your desktop, you can email that all you want. That's so.
Okay.
Screenshots and forwarding don't really have anything to do with each other. You can take a screenshot and it lands on your desktop, and then you can email that to somebody if you want, but you don't necessarily forward a screenshot right after you've taken the screenshot. Those two don't talk to each other. All right?
Thank you.
Who wants to jump in? Somebody else got another issue? All right. Anybody else? Going once?
How do we eject? How do we eject the hard drive the proper way?
Right click. So if you look at the top right hand corner of my screen, you see scratch disk. That's the disk that I'm using to record this conference on. If I do a right click on that, it gives me the ability to eject. That's one way. Another way is to drag it to the trash. And if I start dragging it to the trash and I put it, you'll notice that the trash, the icon in the dock disappears as a trash can icon and becomes a little triangle icon, like the eject icon you see sometimes. So I could right click and eject. I could drag it to the trash, or I could go up under the Finder window and there's the word eject in there somewhere. There it is.
That's what I do when it tells me I did it wrong and I'm going to lose all my info. And
not if you eject it. If you ejected it, it shouldn't say it. Now, if you just pull it out, it would say that. But again, remember that's like Apple's trying to scare you so that you eject it properly, but most of the time the data's already been transferred. And Time Machine is one of these too. Time Machine runs constantly. And the Apple engineers are smart enough to have realized, hey, we know people are going to pull it out during Time Machine so back up. So they buffer a little bit of that space.
Okay.
All right. Anybody got anything else for me tonight? Going once, twice. All right.
Scotty,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
I have one quick question. I know you're going to fuss, but the little sign that's HD at the top, or HQ, or whatever that is full. The little blue line is all the way to the top.
Okay. Something that I know. So what's going on here, Ann, is I believe you have a hard drive that might be full. Let's jump over. This is important enough that we need to look at this. Let's see. Here we go. Ann, you should see a request for us to look at your screen. What Ann is insinuating is that her hard drive might be full. And if her hard drive is full, we need to do something about that. Okay. All right, Ann, look at this messy desktop. This is embarrassing.
Wait, let me
Look at this. And by the way, Ann
Go ahead.
does interior design, and this is what her house looks like. Is this? It's just stuff laying all over the place.
Oh, hi.
I'm just kidding. All right.
That's not true.
Okay.
And I used to have the record for this, so don't worry about it, okay? I held the record for a long, long time.
Okay. So,
I've taken on the new.
all right. I'm going to take.
The new.
All right. So if we look, all right, Ann, stop moving things around for a second. Good. Okay. So Ann is saying she's got a little icon up here that's saying hard drive. It's kind of telling her that it's full. So what we're going to do is click on her hard drive one time, and I'm going to go Command I, and I want to see some information about this. Let's say she has a 500 gig or a 1,000 gig drive, a terabyte that is. We're going to see how much of that space is being taken up. So here we are. No, she has a very small internal drive. She has a 250 gig drive, and she has only 11 gigs available. All right, now it's time for my speech. When a person runs into this situation, and here's a person that did earlier today, and their computer is right over there waiting for me to put a new drive into it. When a person runs out of hard drive space, they have one of three options. Either A, find some things on that drive that you don't care about and delete them. B, find some things on that drive that you don't really need all the time and you can move it over to an external hard drive. And in Ann's case, she has another hard drive called iPhoto Library. Ann takes a lot of pictures and she shoots in really high res. I know that about her. So she has a dedicated hard drive just to photos. So she's already done that. But in the meantime, she's filled up her little measly 250 gig internal hard drive. Your third option is to get a bigger internal hard drive. So let me go through it again. Either A, you find things on your hard drive that you want to just throw away, you don't care about. B, you find things on your hard drive that you could offsite, like you've already done actually. Or C, get a bigger hard drive. Now, in your case, Ann, what is most likely the case, I'm going to snoop around here for a second, is that you have children, and your children may have bought some movies or TV shows, and some of those movies or TV shows may have downloaded on your computer. But there is no reason in the world that anybody should hold on to movies or TV shows that they buy. You don't buy the file, you buy permission to watch the file. So we're going to go into your music here, and we're going to look at this and into iTunes way down in here. And deep down in here, we're going to find a folder called TV shows, and we're going to find a folder called movies. And we're going to see if anybody's been buying, I don't know, Miley Ray Cyrus's latest television show, whatever that might be. There's some Miley Cyrus stuff there. I'm looking for the word TV show. I don't see it. Let's look for the word movies. There's movies. All right, I'm going to click on movies, and let's see if there's a bunch of stuff in there. There's a few. So if I go Command-I on that.
Take them out. I don't care.
Yeah, that's 7 gigs. So I could throw all those away, and that would free up 7 gigs for us.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Throw them away.
Yeah, and then what we're doing, and just I like to stress this, we're not throwing the file away. Well, we are throwing the file away, but we can always re-download these. Because we didn't buy the file, we bought permission to download the file. And you cannot throw permission away. It is impossible to throw permission away. You can throw away the file, and that will free up some space. So those are...
And Scotty,
go ahead.
I know I need to also get a new computer. We've talked about that. So that's in the very near future, but...
Yeah, but in the meantime, let's see if we can trim the fat on this a little bit. We're going to go to the movies area, and we're going to select these. These are all files that you purchased. I'm going to select all of them, and we're going to throw them away. And what's going to happen is they're going to come back. And they're going to come back with little cloud icons in the bottom right-hand corner eventually. Let's go to TV shows and see if there are any TV shows here. Doesn't look like you have any there. All right, let's go to podcasts and see if you have a lot of podcasts. Doesn't look like you have any there, which is good. Which means then that there is something else taking up the majority of your space. And I won't go through all that now, but there in person I can go through and find exactly what's taking up most of the space, and then we can decide to what we want to move or throw away. All right?
Do I need to make a brief appointment with you or something so you can come by if it's that important?
Yeah, it is important. You're okay. Empty your trash, and let's go ahead and empty that trash right now. I'm going to go to Finder and empty trash, because what we want is that number to go up. That 11 gigs, we want 20 or 30 gigs. So while that happens, that number over there is going to actually go up in the future. I've got Imaday that just popped up. Imaday, how are you? What can we do for you this evening?
Well, I just wanted to listen because I'm not with my computer. I just have to listen to you.
Okay. Now, Imaday, you sent me a frantic email earlier this week. How is your computer doing right now?
Well, I just went to the Genius Bar, and I haven't been home to find out if my time capsule is messed up or not. They straightened out a few things on the computer, but they said it could be my time capsule.
Okay. Well, you know I'm not a big fan of time capsules, the hard drive itself.
Well, I mean, I think he was talking about router.
Yes. Yeah, a time capsule is a router as well as a backup hard drive. And as a router, it's fine. But and Mark knows this, I think Mark might have a time capsule. Daryl has a time capsule as well. And I've just decided anytime I have a chance to say something.
Well, I have.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Imaday. Imaday, did you fall off? Okay, well, we might have lost Imaday for a second. Well, if nobody else has anything else, we'll be getting out of here pretty soon. Anybody you have another follow-up?
I do.
All right, Joanne, take it.
To permanently empty or to permanently trash photos and stuff, I thought you said to do it under the Black Apple. Do we do it under Finder?
Now you're talking about deleting pictures within iPhoto. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if you want to delete pictures from within iPhoto, you throw them away, but then you have to empty iPhoto's trash. That is different than emptying your computer's trash. Just like emptying your mail trash is different than emptying computer trash. Down here, I have a trash can. This trash can in my Finder has nothing to do with my iPhoto trash. It has nothing to do with my email trash. So if I want to delete my iPhoto trash to permanently hide those pictures, or throw those pictures away, I have to choose to empty trash within the application iPhoto. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So
Okay, what about on a computer?
then you empty this trash. So under Finder, I go up under Finder and the word Finder, empty trash. Now there are two ways to do this. You can secure empty the trash, or you can empty trash. Generally, for 99% of the population, emptying the trash is fine. Securely emptying the trash means that it writes over the area that the file that you want to get rid of is in. So it actually completely gets rid of that. It writes over it so that someone like myself couldn't come back and dig through and find things. All right? Anybody have a follow-up? Emma Day, did we get you back?
I think it's echoing a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's just because I'm on the phone.
Yeah, there's something going on funky with that. But hey, you get what you pay for. This is free tonight. All right, well, I'm going to get out of here then, guys, and I'm going to go for a bike ride. All right.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining in.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.